Yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 happy hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I got Brian Dacus in the hizzy, and we got a very, very busy Thursday. It's a thirsty Thursday in the Mid-South, and if it's Thursday, it's November. You know what we got. We got NFL action with the Titans at the Steelers. You can catch all that action right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Pregame beginning at 7 o'clock. But, man, we got so much to get into. If you were watching, and I hope you were, the World Series is over. The Texas Rangers have finally won a World Series. The best memories you think of when you thought of the Rangers before this year, when you think of the Rangers, you probably thought Pudge, Nolan Ryan, maybe Vlad. Your most, probably memorable moment, maybe Josh Hamilton doing some stuff in an All-Star game as a Ranger, or Nolan Ryan beating up Robin Ventura.
Me. Josh Hamilton hit 4 home runs in a single game. Please, miss me with the All-Star game.
He also put on what I'm saying is a laser show at the home run. I'm disrespecting the Rangers for a reason, because this is a team that was mired in losing and failing and not having postseason success and not spending money on players. The Rangers realistically are kind of like the Clippers in the NBA. If the Clippers won a title, wouldn't you be a little freaked out? The Rangers were that same thing, but as for baseball. And it's just crazy. 2 years removed from losing 102 games. My man Chris Young, who's the general manager, went to Princeton, pitched in the bigs for 10 years, went out there and got all the pieces together, started stewing the brew, got the right pieces, and then he called Bruce Bochy. Bruce Bochy, who now has four rings. He's coached 4 teams to World Series titles. He was sitting on the couch for 3 years in Nashville just chilling until Chris Young gave him a call. And if you watched the game last night and you saw the ending of it, just listening to Bruce Bochy, you understand why that guy is so successful. I mean, he basically was talking about how blessed he was, how lucky he was, how great this team is. And the thing about Bruce Bochy and Chris Young is Chris Young allowed Bruce Bochy to coach. That means watch the game, have feel. A lot of general managers come in there and they have a plan that comes from the GM down to the coach. We're going to pitch this guy this many innings. We're going to do a rotation game. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. No, man, Chris Young, he got the pieces and said, Bruce, you go be the chef, put them together and make the stew. And they are World Series champions. And you got to give Corey Seager some mad props. Do you know how many players in MLB history have won 2 World Series MVPs? Dacus, do you know this answer?
It's 3, I think. 2 or 3?
Well, there's now 4 because
4.
Corey Seager is the 4th. You had Bob Gibson, Sandy Koufax, Reggie Jackson, and now Corey Seager. He won the MVP with the Dodgers back in 2020. Now he just wins it with the Texas Rangers. And last night's game, it was awesome. But again, big tip of the cap. The Rangers, who got in on the wild card, who lost the last game of the year to Seattle to win the division. You remember that, don't you?
I do.
Which instead of them having like hosting the games, which is a good thing because they were better on the road, they did not lose a road game during the entire series. They had to go down to Tampa and they put everything behind them and they started kicking people's teeth in. And now they're World Series MVPs. They lost Max Scherzer. They lost Adolis Garcia. No Adolis Garcia, no problem. Again, Travis Jankowski came in. You saw what Garver did. Bruce Bochy's lineup, he went with his gut, and it paid off. Zach Gallen, though, got into the 7th inning, started the 7th inning, had a no-hitter. Corey Seager goes oppo. Down the third base line when the third baseman was pulled off. Single. How you like me now? Garver right back up the middle. And they got that first and very important run, and then what they did later, and that was just absolute crazy. And Marcus Semien basically put the cherry on top with that blast. Paul Sewald in the 9th inning just couldn't get a Rangers hitter out. I mean, he could not get anybody out. It was an interesting baseball game, to say the least. It was a lot of fun. Against Zach Gallen, went out there and pitched his tail off. But damn, the Diamondbacks, what was it, 10 runners in scoring position?
It's a lot.
And they were 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position at the plate. It's not a good
That was most of the series with the Diamondbacks.
Well, the last two games especially. Last game they came on late, but man, early in that ball game the other night when the Rangers went up big. But again, Arizona in those first few innings, you felt like they were about to pop. They had Eovaldi on the ropes. I mean, they had my man on the ropes. Eovaldi gave up 5 walks. Do you realize that? 4 hits and 5 walks. Only pitched. It was 5 innings, right? Did he throw 6? 5 or 6?
I couldn't tell you, John. I can look it up for you.
I can't remember when he came out the game. He either pitched 5 or 6 innings, but I know he gave up 5 walks, 4 hits, but somehow 0 runs. Like, it was crazy. You saw the bases juice the whole night, and then he would get slick, get that spinner out, and just kept hitters off all night. And the Texas Rangers, I don't believe, made an error in the entire World Series.
I know through the first 3 games.
The first error was Christian Walker in game number 4.
Right, I was about to say.
And then there was only one other error, and that was last night. And my little homie Thomas in center field, I felt just bad for the kid.
Alec Thomas.
You had to feel bad for him.
Oh, of course. I'm a big fan of him.
Right there, dude's got speed to burn, and he's a damn good outfielder. It's crazy to see him. He just took his eye up, looking ahead before he got the ball in the glove. Went a little too far past him. That junk rolled to the wall. Corbin Carroll had to get on his horse to go get that bad boy. It was a heck of a series, and it's a great story for the Arizona Diamondbacks. We talk about the Rangers. The Diamondbacks have won a World Series. Remember they beat the Yankees? You had Gonzo hit the ball off Mariano Rivera up the middle.
6 innings for old Nathaniel.
Damn, he threw 6 innings, had 9 runners on base, and didn't give up a damn run. Came up huge. Them big ears helped him out when he needed it. Man got aerodynamic. And again, Bruce Bochy, do you like talking about coaching instead of going with the plan? Josh Boers, did you see the guy who pitched the last 2 innings?
I mean, what I could, yeah.
Okay, well, do you know that in the regular season his ERA was 5.5 and he was terrible? He came in early.
Good for him.
Just an extra arm.
Good for him.
When he was in Tampa, gave up a walk, gave up a hit, and then went out there and since that point was on point. And again, you go with your gut here. Bruce Bochy didn't even have to go to Leclerc. He said, "My man Josh has been pitching out of his mind in the postseason. My man threw 12 innings. I pulled it up. I thought it was 10. He threw 12 innings, only gave up 4 hits, 1 run, 4 walks to 13 Ks. My man was ice, and they needed that because one of the biggest weaknesses, the glaring weakness, was the Texas Rangers bullpen. But, man, that's what Bruce Bochy does. He sees somebody, hey, he might not have been good all season, but, damn it, he's found something. He's hot, and I'm going to go with the kid. And he went out there and gave them just amazing innings. And another thing that's crazy, who's had a better 3 years than Will Smith?
That's a good question.
Do you know who Will Smith is? I'm not talking about the dude that Chris Rock slapped. No, wait, that slapped Chris Rock. I said that backwards. Sometimes I'm dyslexic, okay? The edibles kick in a little bit earlier today. Sorry about that. I woke up a little earlier than normal. By the way, they're so delicious. I don't even remember what I was saying because I started thinking about
Will Smith, the baseball
Will
player,
Smith, the baseball player, not the dude
rapper.
that slapped.
Right.
Oh yeah, he was. He did the na 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 na. What is that song?
Yeah,
Na 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 na. Is that the Get Jiggy with It?
Yes.
That's probably like the lamest rap in the history of the world. Dude, do you remember the racial draft on Chappelle's show? I bet if we did that today, they would have got rid of Will Smith.
You never know, maybe.
I think I remember the Tiger Woods. That was such a good show back in the day. But Will Smith, the last 3 years, has gotten 3 World Series rings. Did you know that?
Good for him.
Dude, if I'm somebody right now, I want Will Smith on my team next year. Dude is in fuego. He won with the Astros, the Braves, and now the Rangers.
The last time the Rangers...
That's 3 consecutive teams, 3 consecutive World Series rings. Pretty dope. Go ahead, what?
The last time the Rangers recorded an error in a game was October 20th.
Damn, that's playing some ball right there.
Is. Didn't commit an error in any of the games in the World Series, and then the last 2 games versus Houston, they didn't.
That is playing great baseball.
The last 7 games.
Big tip of the cap, man. I love me. I have to say, I loved watching the World Series. I'm glad the Rangers got it. Bruce Bochy's straight up nails. But watch the Arizona Diamondbacks again. Another team that lost just 2 years ago, 100 games. They've completely changed their organization. They got some very young talent. Carol Marte, Moreno, their catcher. I like him. Walker's that guy. Tommy Pham looks good over in that Diamondbacks uniform, doesn't he?
Sure does.
Only person that actually hit better than Corey Seager in the World Series, did you know, was Tommy Pham?
Really?
I believe that was going into last night. Seager may have passed him statistically, but going into yesterday, that was one of the things that was like the OPS was one was 1.06 and one was 1.02 or something. But anyway, just baseball's bad ass, and now it's over. Now it's time to focus until spring. But now it's time to focus on the NBA. And if you're a Memphis fan, that's going to be really hard for you. Like, no Ja, no Steven, no Brandon Clark, no Santi, no wins. Not a damn win, mate. Like, everybody in the NBA's got to win but the Grizzlies. You know that? Every team in the NBA has a win except for the Memphis Grizzlies. Like, come on now. I mean, they do have 2 against Portland. Like, thank goodness. Friday and Sunday they play Portland, and, there's no Dame time in Portland. But you know what Portland does have that the Grizzlies don't?
They beat a win.
Joe. 2 wins. Yeah. They got 2 wins,
and
man.
They beat the Showtime Pistons last night.
Man, Jalen Duren's going to be a baller, isn't he?
Yeah, if he was playing last night, I think different game.
I do too, but have you heard all the amazing praise coming out?
Oh, yeah, he's on my fantasy team.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah.
Like, is he really going to be, like, is this going to be a year that he busts out all over people?
Hope so. I mean, it's looking good so far. Through how many games he's played? 3. I mean, it's looking good.
Man, dude, they got, like, singing the praises of former Tiger. But, yeah, Memphis Grizzlies, no wins. And that's all I got to say about that. Tough start. By the way, LeBron James and the Lakers also got a big win. I didn't realize this. Did you know that's the first time they beat the Clippers in their last 12 tries?
Really?
They lost 11 consecutive games going into last night, and it still took overtime. And LeBron, who says he's not going to play a lot of minutes this year, man, played 42 last night.
Well, I guess if you need him, you got to go,
Man, can you tell them young bucks to, like, step it up?
Pick it up.
Come on, man. Kick it up a notch. Damn. I mean, my kinfolk wasn't even playing for the Clippers last night, and they still, like, was right there. How's this going to work when they get James?
I guess that's the $1 million question.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But that's the NBA, and we're going to talk a lot of NBA today because, Isaac Simpson comes on at 11:30. So in about 12 minutes, we're going to talk with Isaac Simpson. We're going to talk about the Grizz. We're also going to talk about the Memphis Tigers, Penny's team, and we're going to talk about basically a little this and that. And he's going to talk something about the Cowboys because he loves the Cowboys. We got to play the Eagles this week. Tough game. We got also a ton of football talk, especially the Ole Miss style of football. Yes, Evie Van Pelt at 12 o'clock today. We are going to be talking a little this, a little that, and a whole lot of football. They play Texas A&M. 11 o'clock game. These 11 o'clock games are difficult for me. Because, when you go to the Grove, you have to do a little eating and a little drinking and a little socializing. And if you're doing a little eating, a little drinking, and a little socializing at 8:30 in the morning, that makes for one long Saturday. So that means you have to be good on Friday. You have to be real good on Friday, and that makes life difficult. But the one thing you also have to make sure of is you got your outfit when you're ready to go down to the Grove. Go to Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road. It's down in Olive Branch. You head on down there, you can get literally everything because they have a ladies' boutique. They got your girl covered. You got children, they got a kids department. They also have a men's section, of course. They got all the jeans, the fall fashions, and the most important thing is they have the largest boot showroom in the world. And you can see it from outer space, and the little horsey out front as well. You go in there, you can get boots for anybody. Western boots, work boots, dress boots, cowboy boots, you name it, they got it at Frontier Western Store. Now, busy show. Today also we have some great Hardwood stories.
I'm fired up.
I'm very fired up. In fact, there's a dart player with the greatest nickname in the history of the world. And I cannot wait to tell you this man's nickname. And by the way, Paige Springnack has addressed all the questions, finally sat down and answered. Are her boobs real or fake? She sat down with a little Q&A the other day. And, of course, that was the hot topic on everybody's mind. You know who Paige is, right?
Oh, yeah, but I didn't know that she had answered all these questions, so that's great.
Well, we could take a poll, 901-360-8255. Do you think they're real or fake?
Well, she answered them, so we have.
Well, I mean, I know the answers.
But you want to know what other people think.
I mean, what do we got to give away around here?
I don't know.
Where's my little package of stuff? Person who gets it right. No. We'll do something. I'll give something away. But we'll be talking about Paige.
Old Paige.
Are they real or are they not? And then I have a little bit of sad news, though. Did you hear that Bob Knight died?
I did. Very sad.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's very sad, but he's equally revered and he's equally reviled.
He's a very complicated man.
But aren't we all, man?
Yes, but maybe some a little
He's
more than
just
others.
a man. Remember, that's all he was. But he was
true.
one hell of a coach.
Very profound statement by you, John.
I don't know if you realize this. 3 natties.
5 Final
76.
Fours.
Undefeated team.
Last team to do it.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
32-0. By the way, also, Olympic gold with Michael MJ.
Was the only or last coach to lead a team of college players to a Olympic gold medal.
By the way, also the greatest scout ever, because do you know he's the one who made the great statement? Michael Jordan will be the best player ever to play coming out of college. Portland said, we need a center.
Yep.
We already got Clyde Drexler. And he said, we'll play him at center. I mean, like, dude, get MJ.
That's right.
Told everybody to take MJ. He was the first. People weren't saying that back then. They knew he was good.
Right.
But he said he was the most skilled, athletic, competitive person he'd ever met, and he would be the greatest NBA player. Actually turned out that Bob Knight was right. Now, he did choke Neil Reed.
And through.
But damn it, haven't you ever want to put hands on somebody before? Because I know I have.
Yeah, well, maybe, I don't think you can do that as a coach, though.
Well, I mean, back then it was a little different, man.
Well, obviously it wasn't because
today
he got fired
Bob's
for it.
I know, but today's style of coaching, for Bob Knight, would not work. And I think that's kind of sad in some situations. I think every person there's different strokes for different folks. I needed to be coached hard because I was just a bad-natured type of person. And if you didn't whip me in line, you weren't going to get the best out of me because my mind was always wandering. But sometimes you got to, you know what I'm saying?
Choke somebody out.
You got to choke them out, man. Just be like, yo, are you paying attention, homie? Do your job. But Bob Knight, man, shoot, what is he, 6th all-time in wins? But when he left the game, he was 1st. What is he in wins? I thought you know all these stats. You're the guy.
He's 70% win percentage. 5 Final Fours, 3 national championships. I'm sorry, I think it was actually headbutting a freshman that got him fired, not choking a player out.
Yeah, it was headbutting a freshman.
Different.
Yeah. But choking Neil Reed was cool. I mean, it's not cool now because I don't think he's with us anymore.
Bob Knight certainly isn't. I don't know.
No,
about
Neil Reed. Yeah, I think he passed young.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was like sad stuff. But yeah, Bob Knight, coach. By the way, think about it. Coach K, he coached Coach K at West Point.
He did.
Look, who has the most
and
wins?
He was
his mentor.
He was the head coach at West Point like 3 months after he graduated. It was incredible.
Wait! I didn't know this. So Bob Knight
became
the coach.
Something like that. Yeah.
3 months. It's like so he was basically.
I'm pretty sure I heard that this morning. Yeah.
Almost the same age as the kids he was coaching.
Yeah, because if you see the picture of him with Coach K,
they look like same age.
They look like their teammates, and he was the coach. Yeah.
Damn, that's impressive as well. That is impressive. Man, there was that, Coach Valvano, when he was coaching like a very young team, he was a very young coach when he got into coaching. And there's always that story that he says that he repeated that, he was going to do the Vince Lombardi speech, but he was just going to throw his team's name in there. And then it ended up with him going out with saying something like, and we're going to go beat the Chicago Bears or something to that effect. But coaching young like that, you don't see that much
Bob
much
Knight
anymore.
Started coaching at 21.
In 21?
Yeah, but that was as a high school coach. I don't know when he started coaching college. Let's see.
Still impressive.
Yeah, so it's 3 years after he finished playing at Ohio State in 62. He became the head coach at Army in 65. So 3 years removed from college, he was the head coach at Army. That's incredible.
Well, we got crazy bets coming up later on in the program at the end. I got Hardwood because it feels so good. We're talking Ole Miss Rebels with Evie Van Pelt, but on the other side, it's time to talk with Isaac Simpson.
You wanted to know his win percentage?
Yes.
He was 902 and 371, so a 70.9 win percentage.
Damn,
That's incredible.
if you're doing that in Vegas, man, you're making a nice little clip.
Yeah, and people are making good money off of him, I guess.
Damn. Well, Bob Knight, rest in peace. Again, on the other side, though, we're switching gears. We got to talk about them Grizzlies who are 0-5. We got to talk about them Memphis Tigers who are getting ready to tip things up. And also a little bit of football. Cowboys, Eagles, Isaac Simpson's next. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos. And enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham. Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando is growing. This family business started up 5 years ago with just one pallet, and now they have hundreds. Tim, the owner, gets calls from people everywhere and can sometimes save them up to 50% on wood flooring, carpet, tile, and vinyl. Jenkins Floors and More helps with renovations, home building, and installation. Jenkins Floors and More, number 6 East Commerce Street in Hernando. Also in Little Rock and coming soon to Tennessee. Call 662-469-9350 for more information.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo Lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Kevin Kugler here from Westwood One. Join Ross Tucker and me for Thursday Night Football to start NFL Week 9 when the Steelers host the Titans. Can Derrick Henry and Tennessee pick up a second straight win as they face T.J. Watt and the Pittsburgh defense? Or will it be the home team Steelers that get their offense on track to improve to 5-3 on the season? Find out on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
After a big dinner, my nighttime heartburn would keep me up. I'd be taking antacid after antacid all night long. But then I tried Prilosec OTC. Just one pill a day blocks my frequent heartburn for a full 24 hours, giving me one-and-done heartburn relief. Without heartburn keeping me up, I could have a restful night's sleep.
Prilosec OTC. One pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Scooters Plus on Summer Avenue. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes Rabbit. He choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter. He's dope. He knows.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I got Dacus in the house. I got Johnny Hill over there, but right now it's 11:30 on a Thirsty Thursday. You know what that means. We're talking with Isaac Simpson. Isaac's excited about some things, probably depressed about others. I'm sure he's a little broken up about Bob Knight passing. I'm sure he's broken up that the Grizzlies can't get a win, but I know he's excited about the Cowboys playing the Eagles. I know he's excited that Dak looked real damn good last time he was out. And I know he's excited about these Memphis Tigers. Isaac, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good, John. How are you?
Man, I'm hanging in there. Can't complain. Baseball's over. Shed a tear. But it was a hell of a World Series. I thought the playoffs were great. And it's kind of nice to see a team like that was forever losers and never won one finally get one.
Yeah, man, it was a tremendous playoff. A lot of parity. I don't think it went even close to how anybody expected it to go, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that creates excitement. Definitely not a lot of talk in this baseball playoff this season, and I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed the run that a young team like Arizona, not a team that you expected coming in to make it as far as they did, but I really enjoyed it, man. It's nice to see Texas Rangers, a team like you said, man, that struggled for a long time, get to the promised land, man, and get all the way and win it.
Man, they lost 102 games just 2 seasons ago. It's wild to think of where they are today. You got to tip the cap to Chris Young, the GM, for grabbing the pieces, going out there and get Corey Seager from the Dodgers after he won the MVP. But the biggest decision, I think the best decision he made, was going out there and getting Bruce Bochy. I can't believe this dude was sitting on his couch for 3 years in Nashville and, out of the blue gets a call, hey, you want to coach the Rangers? Hell yeah, I've been kind of bored. And look where he's back, 4th World Series ring. But, man, I got to get to the Grizzlies. We talk about Bruce Bochy winning 4 World Series ring. Grizzlies can't win one damn basketball game. Only team in the NBA that still doesn't have a win, 0-5. Is it just as simple as no Stephen Young, no Ja, no Santi, no BC, or is there something else?
Yeah, man, there are 2 ways to look at this. The positive side is the team is going to be fine. They're 0-5 right now, and as you said, it's just at this point it's just simple as having no Steven Adams, obviously no John Morant, no Brandon Clark, no Sandy Aldama, basically no Luke Kennard, now no Derrick Rose for a week. So they're just
that's right.
they're just decimated with injuries right now, and any team in that position, they're going to struggle winning basketball games. So like I said, man, I think they're going to be fine. You're going to get Ja back. Santi's on the way back here soon. You got Bismack Biyombo in the house now. He's going to be here. I think they might make a move somewhere down the line. So I think this team is going to be fine. They will make the playoffs. But for me, I think I no longer
are we looking play-in game?
Yeah, I don't have any real expectations for this team anymore this season, other than making the playoffs. I think not getting into the playoffs would be a disaster. But once Steven Adams went down, we know how much Steven Adams means to this team as far as his rebounding, his playmaking, the screen setting for Ja, opening those lanes up. He just opens up everything for the entire team. Once you lose him, and we saw how much that affected them in the playoffs last year, I don't have any expectations that this season is going to turn into them being a championship team or even really, really competing for a championship. I think if you still have those expectations, barring them going out and making a significant move to bring in a couple significant pieces that can have the same type of impact that Steven Adams has on his team, you just look around the West, man, it's an arms race, and I just feel like they're behind right now. You got your star player, he's going to miss 20 more games, so 25 in total. It's going to take him a while to get wrapped up. I think the front office has made some mistakes as far as depth concerned. I kind of foreshadowed those, and I think it's kind of played out exactly the way I said it would. I think that's partly, the reason why they're in the position that they're in right now. I think they would be struggling, but I think they could be in a better position as far as some of the depth and some of the bench pieces they have. Some of those guys they drafted, they just missed on. And I think it was obvious at the time that they were missing on the guys, and it just is what it is right now. But this team is going to I believe they'll make the playoffs, whether that's a play-in type situation, because I think, looking at what's happening right now, I think that's possible. Because this West is not going to wait on you, and then you got 20 more games without Ja, and even when he comes back, there's likely to be a period of time where he has to knock off some rust. So you're going to be pretty significantly behind. So getting into the play-in, I think that's a possibility. But I don't see a scenario where they drop out of the playoffs. I just think unless they go out and make a major move, I don't think this is going to be a championship year. And I hate that, because prior to the Steven Adams news, I had designs that this team could definitely compete for a title this year. Bringing in veterans like Marcus Smart, Derrick Rose, who I think would be tremendous for the locker room, getting Steven Adams back, and having him and Tripp doing their thing. This was setting up to be a really good season, and a season where I thought that as long as they got into the playoffs, they would have an opportunity to win a title despite what would happen early in the season. But at this point, I think the negative side of this is not that it's a wasted season, because I don't think you making the playoffs, I still think that has some value. But I have a hard time seeing this team, with everything that they're dealing with, that they're able to put all this stuff in a pot and make it come out as a championship team or a championship contending team. I just don't see that being the result at the end of this season.
Speaking of, you were talking about what could have been, if you had Aquaman, Tripp, Bane, Smart, Ja in there, that's one hell of a starting five that would have had also a deep bench. Of course, things aren't like that right now, but they did make one move, and I'm wondering, is Bismack Biyombo, what do you think the impact he's going to have on this Grizzlies team when they get him inserted in there and start playing some minutes?
Man, he's definitely going to help, because I think if you watch Xavier Tillman, look pretty good those first couple of games, but it's clear that
he's worn out.
He's being overused. You can tell he's gassed. I think Tripp, his game is being affected by them not having any depth in the front court, so he's definitely going to help. I mean, he's a veteran. He can block shots. He rebounds. There's more fouls. There's another body to have in that front court rotation. I think is going to do wonders for this team, because they just need somebody with a pulse, somebody else that they can play at that position. So I definitely think he'll help. I don't think he is a long-term answer. I don't think he.
No, they just got it. He's only signed a one-year deal, didn't he?
Yeah, and it's not even. It's $1 million. It's $1 million guaranteed. $5 million total. I think that the situation is likely, if if he stays on the team for the entirety of the season, it'll be for $5 million. If they waive him after the 20 games when Ja returns, he'll just get the $1 million. So I think they end up keeping him because they're just so thin. They got to have somebody. Unless he comes in and just stinks it up, I think he'll be the guy. If not, I guess they probably let him go and pick somebody else up after the 20 games. You got to have somebody there. But I do think he's going to help. And I think the team, like I said, they're going to get this figured out, man. New pieces, you're getting Ja back. They're going to win basketball games, and they're going to be a playoff team. I just don't think without Steven Adams and just some of the adversity they're facing this year that this is going to be the year where they break through and win a title. Maybe that was the case before, but I think it's even before all of this, but I definitely think it's the case now.
Now, I got to ask, and again, I know that they're missing pieces, but right now, through 5 games, I don't think I've ever seen a team that's worse at defending the three-point line and the perimeter. They are. I mean, if you might suck at shooting threes, but you're going to shoot them against the Grizzlies because you're going to be wide open.
Yeah, and that's another thing that worries me. We've seen this year in and year out that this team continues to overhelp and leave guys open for threes. And you have people asking the question, they're like, why are the teams always getting so hot against the Grizzlies? It's not that they're getting hot. It's like you're giving them 1,000 feet to shoot these shots. They don't guard the perimeter, and doesn't make any sense because you have a guy on that back line like Jaren Jackson Jr. that can do what he does defensively. Doesn't make any sense for all these guys to be overhelped. And that's a scheme coaching issue. And I'm starting to have real questions about Taylor Jenkins long term because a lot of this stuff we've seen time and time again. And I understand that he's working with a shorthead roster and things are tough right now. But a lot of these things are things that are going on all the time. They've just been masked by Ja Morant. I mean, you have a guy like Ja Morant out there, and when things break down, you just give him the basketball and say, Ja, go get a bucket. And that's what happens. And they end up winning games. But these really aren't new issues with Taylor Jenkins. They've just been masked, and now they're unmasked because of the situation they're in. But these have always been problems of his. And he talked this offseason about him doing reflection and reflecting on himself and things he needs to improve on. So far this season, that hasn't been something that he's improved on. And I think that's one of his biggest issues. And also on top of being robotic in rotations and just kind of managing game script. I mean, he has a problem with that as well. He doesn't adjust well, and then when he does adjust, a lot of times it's too late.
And it's also it's weird. It's like, whenever the Grizzlies play somebody, it seems like they go out there and do the same thing. Like they'll try to make an unproven shooter beat them that night. But again, when these guys are pros and you leave them wide open, like, I mean, Derrick Jones Jr. the other night. Yeah. I mean, you just got dudes. I mean, if you're wide open in the NBA, and I mean wide open. Player. They're going to knock down that shot, and that's the thing is like they keep going to the same damn well, and it's not working. I hope TJ can he needs to make a move.
Yeah, we
new
saw it last year.
Philosophy is something.
Yeah, we saw it last year. I remember a game against New Orleans. Herb Jones is not known as a 3-point shooter. Hit like 7 in the game because they just kept leaving him like, okay, well, Herb Jones not going to knock down his shot. He kept knocking him down, and they're like, eventually he's going to miss, and he never missed, and they never adjusted. And that's the kind of stuff that we see time and time again with Taylor Jenkins and his coaching staff. And I know he's young, but I mean, he's been there a while now, man. It's time to start seeing some improvement, and I haven't seen a lot of growth from him. Like the issues that he's had, he's pretty much still had the same issues. He's good in some areas. I think they've done a good job in player development. But I'm starting to think that Taylor might be a better coach for an up-and-coming development team that he is for a team that's
to the next
actually
level.
ready to take it to the next level and actually ready to win a title. We'll see, but I'm starting to feel like that might be the case with him.
Man, when you just look at this Grizzlies team, I know, again, we talked about the injuries. We know about everybody being out. I don't see an identity. I see the same I see the same defense. It's just leaving guys wide open. I mean, teams are shooting like honest to God, they are probably the worst three-point defending team in the NBA, are they not?
I would think I haven't looked at the numbers, but I would think
right
so far they would have to. They would have to be. I don't see there's any.
Only one team's worse, and that's Indiana. They're giving up 43.9% from the three, as Memphis is giving up 43.4%. Holy
I mean, that's just not going to cut it, man. I mean, a really good team shoots 37 to 38%. Man, you got let teams shoot in the 40s. I mean, you're not going to. You just can't win games that way. I mean, I don't understand it because it's elementary stuff. When you watch it, you just see every single time, man, they're running away from the three-point line. Guys walk up. A lot of times they don't even want to take the shot. They're like, man, they're going to leave me this wide open. I guess I got to take it. They'll sit there and look and like, okay, I got to take this shot. Like, it's bad, man, and I don't understand it because this is something that we've seen time and time again. We saw it in the playoffs against the Lakers last year. They just refused to guard three-point line, man. Rui Hachimura is not a guy that's known as a three-point gunner, and he just ate him up last year from the perimeter, man. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating to watch, and I think in being in the situation that they're in now and being so short-handed and undermanned, it just makes it even worse.
Well, Grizzlies got 2 more road games before they come back to the house. The next house game is against Miami, but they got the Trailblazers on Friday and Sunday. Hopefully they can get that dub. But, man, I'm tired of talking about the Grizzlies right now. Tell me something good.
It's pretty depressing, man. There's no doubt about that.
It is, especially because of how excited everybody was. Like there were times like everybody in Memphis was like, all right, y'all see when Ja comes back, Steven Adams is healthy, Marcus Smart's here, Desmond Bane's going to take that next step, Tripp's doing his thing. Like everybody was pumped, and now it's just like, damn. But now to the Tigers. Everybody's saying this is Penny's best team. Everybody. Heck, even I think it was like Andy Katz or whatever was talking about like this is the best team Penny's ever assembled and all. I'm like, damn, big guys are even saying this stuff. Are these facts?
I think so. And Andy Katz said that they're a sleeper Final Four team.
That's right.
So anytime you don't usually have the big guys on Memphis like that. So I think that kind of tells you what type of talent this roster has, and I've said this time and time again. I mean, they look fantastic in the exhibition against Lane. I just love the mix of veterans and young guys. I love the addition of Daquan Walton. I think David Jones is going to.
So that's where I wanted to ask you: is he turning into basically maybe that, like their first or second option?
I think so. Like I think he's good enough to be the best player on this team. I also think Daquan Walton is good enough to be the best player on this team. And David Jones, though, is a guy that he does it all. I mean, he rebounds, he can score, he can get his own shot, he can knock it down from the perimeter. I mean, he's fantastic, man. I think he's a dark horse candidate for AAC Player of the Year. I think he has that type of talent. I think he can kind of be in that DeAndre Williams role if they don't get him back. I think he can have that type of impact on this team. They just have a lot of players, man, a lot of depth.
Just to get to the guards, because you talked about Jaquan. I mean, do they have some of the best guards in the country then?
Yeah, man, you have experience, man. A guy like Javon Quinley, who's been around, I think this is his 5th year, man, that's been around that long, man. He's played in the SEC, man, been in high-level basketball. He's been a starter. He's been off the bench. The only thing question with him is staying healthy. Mm-hmm. Caleb Mills is another guy who I think being on a bad Florida State team, you saw what he could do at Houston. And that's the thing about a lot of these guys. Most of these guys were like the best player on bad teams. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come together to form a good team. But they're all really good players, and I think some of their numbers, like you see some of the efficiency stuff that you'll hear, when people say negative things about them. But I think a lot of that had to do with them being the man on the teams and having to take a lot of bad shots to kind of bail people out. Like you look at Caleb Mills' numbers, percentage-wise, they didn't look great the last couple of seasons, but I just think those Florida State teams were so bad that he was put in a lot of bad situations a lot of times. I think you're going to see more of the Houston version of Caleb Mills than you saw from what you saw from him in Florida State. So you talk about that backcourt is tremendous, man. Both of those guys, Quinley and Mills, can both handle the basketball. And I haven't even mentioned Jordan Brown, who was the G5 Player of the Year last year. I think he's going to dominate especially in the American Conference. I don't think there's anybody that can really deal with him down low. And I think some of these young guys, Ashton Hardaway is a guy who people didn't have a lot of expectations for this season. But I think he's really going to help because he can shoot the basketball. You can always need shooters. So I think he's going to play a little bit more than people think. And I think Carl Sharonfett, another freshman, I think he's going to find his way because it's going to be hard to keep him off the floor because he just plays so damn hard, man. He's going to find his way on the floor. So this team has a lot of depth. I'm excited about this team, and they have the schedule, man, to to kind of put themselves in position. That's going to be the question, though. Penny basically said that this non-con schedule is our season. So, and they know how important that is. So they got to get the ground running. But usually Penny's teams start slow and they look like it takes time to build chemistry. And you really felt like that would probably be the case this year. But I know it was Lane College, but watching them in that game, and they didn't even have Quinterly in that game, they looked to have really great chemistry. Didn't seem to be a lot of disjointedness on the roster. They seem like they're ready to go, man. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a big year for this team, and I think anything short of a second weekend, I think would be a tremendous disappointment with this roster.
With all basically the dudes on this team, I mean, not only is it, a very veteran-laden team, an older team, but again, it's deep. Who do you think, though, how do you whittle this down to the top, your 8 best dudes, and who are they?
Man, that's the thing with Penny, man. Penny, we know he can play a lot of dudes, man. And with this amount of talent, man, I think that's probably going to continue. I think that's kind of been one of the knocks on Penny, that he doesn't kind of shorten that rotation down. And I think he has more talent this year than he's ever had. So I would be surprised if we saw a shorter rotation. I think he's going to play most of these guys, and I guess you just kind of look and see how the season plays out, and it'll bear itself out of who those 8 guys are. But I think this team goes deeper than 8. I think this team is like 10 deep on the roster. And if you could add DeAndre Williams to this, man, that's the question. I mean, anytime you have this type of roster and this type of talent, you have to do a great job of managing egos. But I think Penny, of all people, is one of the best coaches to have the ability to do that. I think he definitely has the ability to manage egos because he's been there. I mean, he's an NBA guy. He's been on teams with other stars. He played with Shaq. He understands kind of how to balance it, and I think guys respect him. I mean, you see guys that didn't even play here come back here and work out with Penny in the summer. I mean, he's a player's guy, so I think he can figure that out. But if you talk to guys, Malcolm Dandridge has talked about this time and time again over the offseason, how unselfish this team is, and that they, even no matter who's on the floor, they're all going to be pulling for each other, man, because they know the team is the sum of its parts. The team is only as strong as the sum of its parts, and that this team understands that. And it seems like he's taking a shot at some of the former teams that they've had there that didn't feel that way, that people had their own agendas. But if you listen to him to a man right now, they're talking the right talk, man. They're saying that all these guys are on the same page and all they care about is winning. So hopefully that's how it plays out, man, because they definitely have the talent to make a run. And I think Penny is a tremendous coach. I know a lot of people say he can't coach. I don't think that's true at all. And I think this is going to be their best season. I think they make a Sweet 16. That's going to be my prediction right now.
Man, they got one on Monday, one more exhibition against Jackson State. Then next Friday, season starts over in Columbia, Missouri, as they play the Missouri Tigers. Can't wait for a little college hoops. Right now, I need some Tigers in my life, the way the Grizzlies are going on. I know you're talking tons of Grizzlies over to Eat Those Grizzlies. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, man, definitely. Like you said, man, you got it at Eat Those Grizzlies. We're pumping out content over there all throughout the week. Definitely we'll be back tomorrow night with a post game. Hopefully after the Grizzlies' first victory of the season up in Portland. So be on the lookout for that at Eat Those Grizzlies. Go over there. Give us a like and a follow. You can find me at TigerSportsReport.com. Also on my personal Twitter page at Isaac_NBA.
Man, Isaac, thank you so much for your time, and good luck with your Cowboys who play the Eagles this week, my friend.
Yeah, man, big one this weekend, man. Thanks. Hopefully they can buck the trend, man. It always seems like they come up small in spots like this, but they got a real opportunity, man, to turn this thing around. They win that game, man. They can take control of the division. So looking forward to it, man. Thanks, man. Talk to you next week.
That is my buddy Isaac Simpson. We're going to take a quick time out. Don't forget, 12 o'clock, we got Evie Man Pelt. 12:30, we got Hardwood because it feels so good. And about 12:50, I'm going to give you some bets, make you some money. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
When you're watching the Tigers play or whatever team you support, you always look for the end result, the winning score. And when you're thinking of selling your home, the ultimate goal line is the closing table. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. Getting your home sold for what you want and when you want it makes everyone happy. You should talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers when you're thinking of selling your home, and make sure I'm one of them, especially if you want results. Most people have heard that when you want the job done, you need to call Sheldon. Call or email me today and find out about my highly successful strategic marketing program with the Shellbucks option. You can reach me at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. That's Sheldon Rosengarten. Call today at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. And go Tigers!
Memphis's oldest restaurant, Colettas, was established in 1923 to give Memphians the best Italian food possible. And I'd say they got it right. They are the creators of the barbecue pizza. It was Elvis's favorite, and I know for a fact that a large will feed one person all weekend. If you need to feed several, though, Colettas caters any event. Choose from homemade lasagna, ravioli, Alfredo, primavera, and so many other delicious items you can't help but enjoy. Impress employees or clients and treat them to Colettas for lunch or dinner. Plan ahead and get your holiday party booked at Colettas. Elvis's favorite place to go eat with his buddies at the South Parkway location, and Colettas even has an Elvis room dedicated to him. Call Colettas on South Parkway at 948-7652 or Appling Road at 383-1122. Colettas. It was Elvis's favorite, and it should be yours too.
Basketball's back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is celebrating with an unbeatable offer. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for throwing down $5 on the NBA. And with DraftKings parlays, everybody's got a shot at even bigger basketball wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, code HERD, H-E-R-D. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with a code HERD, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. Licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles, and Louisiana. 21 plus. Age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
We all appreciate luxury. We love the newest technology. We want something that sparkles and looks great. Well, I've got it all in one place. It's called Genesis of Olive Branch, right at the corner of Highway 78. That's Lamar. And the first exit in Mississippi, that's Craft Road. Turn left and you will see Genesis of Olive Branch. And right now, you can get the 2024 Genesis GV70 starting at $49,480 with special financing as low as 3.49% on select models. How about the 2024 Genesis GV80? A little bit bigger, starting at $55,995, financing as low as 5.49% with a $2,000 rebate when trading a luxury brand. Call them. They'll even bring you a Genesis at your work or your home for a test drive. They're convinced that when you drive a Genesis, you're going to want one. Call 662-890-6684. Ask for Vinny. Genesis of Olive Branch.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Scooters Plus on Summer Avenue. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit. He choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I got Brian Dacus, Johnny Hill in the house, man. Big thanks to Isaac Simpson. We talked about the Grizzlies, the Tigers. We're fired up about them Memphis Tigers, man. They open up the season next Friday, November 10th, in Missouri against the Missouri Tigers. Tiger on Tiger, little action. Now, speaking of action, I got a game that's pretty interesting, and I think my buddy Mark Bartlett down at Meadowbrook Country Club is going to be a little bit mad at me because, you know, the South Carolina Gamecocks are playing Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State's getting 16 points against South Carolina. And I'm going to tell you something. I think this is a great little spot. I don't know if you know this. Jackson State is just as good on the offensive and defensive line as South Carolina. Now, Spencer Rattler, is he the better quarterback? Yes. But secondaries, defense, all the positions, except for maybe Trey Knox and Spencer Rattler. But you give me 16 points, Jacksonville State, I'm going to take those bad boys. So I hope Mark Bartlett over at Meadowbrook Country Club isn't mad at me because his future son-in-law is Trey Knox. But I will tell you, Mark Bartlett over at Meadowbrook Country Club at 1250 West Broadway. It's 10 minutes from downtown Memphis, just across the bridge. Meadowbrook Country Club, it's been private since 1959. Well, it's now semi-private. You can become a member for a day for just $59. That includes your tax, the cart's included, 18 holes, par 71, championship Bermuda greens, 4 tee boxes. It's awesome. But if you want to become a member, like if you live in downtown or midtown, if you live near there, it is easy to get there, and it's only $350 a month. And that doesn't just include golf. That includes pickleball, their swimming pool, their tennis courts, their great restaurant, and their amazing bar that serves the best Tito's Bloody Mary around. Again, the pro over there, Mark Bartlett, he is a elite fitter for Srixon clubs. They get custom mades. Their specs are like order specs. It's amazing. There's only 3 elite fitters in Memphis, in the Mid-South. Mark Bartlett's one of them, just across the bridge over in West Memphis. Meadowbrook Country Club. Check it out. Give them a call. Set a tee time, 870-394-4186. On the other side, we're talking with Evie Van Pelt about them Ole Miss Rebels, currently in the CFP rankings, 10th in the country. They got a big game this week against Texas A&M. 11 a.m. start. I'm going to be in the Grove about 8:30 in the morning, meaning I'm going to be tore up all day long, all day strong. I'm putting in that work on Saturday, baby. Evie Van Pelt from the Rebel Walk. From the Rebel Walk is next. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Starts playing different tunes. I'll see you on the dark side of the moon.
Pizza lovers and sports fanatics, Ferraro's Pizzeria is your Sunday ticket headquarters. Catch every pro game on multiple big screen TVs while enjoying $2 beers, $9 beer buckets, and mouth-watering pizza. We're talking the cheesiest, most delicious New York pizzas in town with all your favorite toppings. What are you waiting for? Grab your family and friends and get to Ferraro's, corner of Jackson and Main, just east of the Pyramid. Enjoy every pro game at Ferraro's Pizzeria and Cheesy Corner, your game day destination.
If you haven't experienced Genesis Diamonds yet, your moment has arrived. Next weekend, November 10th through 12th, Genesis is putting everything on sale. Save 20, 30, even 35%. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, engagement rings. World-class designers will be here too, showcasing fashion jewelry never seen here before. All on sale. Luxury pre-owned Rolex watches and all lab-grown diamonds are also included. Don't miss this spectacular store-wide sale. Next weekend, November 10th, 11th, and 12th at Genesis Diamonds, Poplar and Perkins Extended. See store for details.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop, here on Sports 56. Real sports talk.
No matter what your past credit, no matter how much you owe on your trade, no matter if you tried to buy at another dealer and were turned down, Sunrise can get you financed. There's never been a better time to trade. Sunrise has hundreds of new vehicles and over a $10 million used car inventory, specializing in cars and trucks under $10,000. Sunrise has the lowest prices and will not be undersold. Bad credit, bankrupt, slow pay, Sunrise gets you financed when no one else can. Check out the inventory and apply online at sunrisememphis.com. The blowout going on now at all Sunrise locations, Covington, Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. 4.9 liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out here with Johnny Hill, Bryant Dacus, and it's 12 o'clock on a thirsty Thursday, so we get Evie Van Pelt from the Rebel Walk, your number one source for all things Ole Miss sports information. Go to therebelwalk.com. Not only do you get all kinds of sports information, but there's an early game this week. Texas A&M, Ole Miss, going to be down in the Grove by 8:30. Getting my drink on with little Tito's. Life hands you lemons. Make sure you make a lemon drop. Just always make sure it's with Tito's handmade vodka. And on Saturday, to be honest with you, the best part of waking up is Tito's in your cup. But on the rebelwalk.com, after you get a little Bloody Mary action, you're going to want to eat something. And they even have a recipe for a breakfast casserole for the Texas A&M game. I'm just putting it out in the universe. I need that at my tent. So go to the Rebel Walk for all things sports information. And also, please go get that recipe because I want that sausage breakfast casserole. What's up, Evie? How are you doing?
I am doing great. You got me all fired up. Tito's, breakfast casserole, kickoff against the Aggies. I'm ready.
Now, by the way, how does this game go with you? Because not only are you a Texas A&M grad, but I think your significant other, didn't he play at Texas A&M?
Yes, he did. He was a 4-year starter at quarterback at Texas A&M and left there as the second winningest quarterback in school history. So, yeah, we're definitely going to be watching this one with some interest. But I will tell you, and you know how it goes, when your child and your money go to Ole Miss, my heart went along with that. So,
yes, I do know.
Yeah, I know you know. You have a little cheerleader there right now. So, yeah. So we're not divided. We are red and blue all the way this weekend.
I love that. And by the way, you are so right on that. But I will tell you the things that do change from, say, your first child to your last child. The first time I dropped off Rio in Oxford, I cried from Oxford back to Memphis. When I dropped Savannah off, I left and went straight to the airport and went 2 weeks to the Virgin Islands.
Oh, no. Say it isn't so.
I was so excited about being an empty nester and partying like a rock star.
Yeah. Well, I've actually communicated with her and Savannah. She's a great, great, great young lady. You raised a good one there.
Oh, thank you. I got to give all the credit to her mother and also my mother. I was just along for the ride. No, for real though, we do need to get into this, and I got to ask you though, because everything, like if you're an Ole Miss, like talking to my friends who are Ole Miss Rebel fans, talking to Savannah, a lot of the people that we're going to be hanging out with this Saturday, everybody's talking about this being a really special season. And getting, and looking ahead and looking at the other games this week, rooting for LSU against Alabama and all these, Ole Miss Rebel fans are getting super, super excited. One thing, though, that scares me, the boys in Vegas have only Ole Miss a 3-point favorite. Ole Miss 10th in the country, Texas A&M with 3 losses, got handled by a few people this year. One of those teams especially being when they lost to Miami. I thought that was crazy. They got beat by Tennessee Tennessee just ran the ball down their throat. They got close game against Alabama. You just feel like you just got to feel a little bit nervous. 11 a.m. kick in Oxford. Everything's feeling good after homecoming and beating up on Vandy. Are you scared about this one?
Yes. Let me be the first to say yes. Not because I don't have confidence in the Rebels' ability. I think a lot of things are really coming together for them right now at this point in the season, defensively, offensively. But I just feel
Jimbo doesn't like Lane.
Jimbo doesn't like Lane. Lane doesn't like Jimbo. I don't think that'd be going out on a limb for me to say that. And, so I think there's a lot at stake here. And it's funny because throughout the week, media and folks have asked Kiffin and asked players, are you looking ahead to Georgia? And it's like, are you kidding? No, we're not. And Kiffin has said, if anybody, told us Monday, he said, if anybody was looking ahead to Georgia, they're not anymore after they saw the film today on A&M. They got a big wake-up call. So that A&M defense is for real. Their defense is for real. That defensive line is tough. They lead the nation in sacks. We've talked about that before. They're still number one in sacks. It's going to be really a fun game to see what happens.
I am glad that it is down in Oxford, thank goodness. That's a big thing, not being in College Station with that raucous crowd. And again, you talked about their defense, but one of the big things that that I feel great about is Ole Miss's defense has really, especially since the LSU game, they've kind of put it together the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, they sure have. And, it's been interesting. I think probably first and foremost what has led probably to this kind of a reinvigorated defense would be the defensive line. And, you and I have talked about that for a few years now, just the big fellas up front and how that just
lack of depth has always been a problem.
It has been a problem. And I just feel like now that just does not seem to be the case as much. And so they're rotating in, if you've got J.J. Pegues with Cedric Johnson, Jared Ivey, Stephen Wynn, that's a good defensive line. But they're also rotating in Isaac Ukwu, Jamon Gordon, Xavier Harris, Akilo Stone, really talented guys. And what I think also has been really cool to see, and we've talked to Cedric about it and Jared about it, JJ about it, is they really feel a brotherhood with each other. So they're very collegial in working with each other. And so, they're able to rotate in and out, and they just over and over say it's a brotherhood. They're all in it together. And I really think that mentality helps. And it's not always easy to have when you have so many transfers and new people coming in.
And that's also a good thing for, Coach Golding, who one of his things is he likes his defense to be able to communicate while they're out on the field and make adjustments. And I feel like since the first game of the year, and they've constantly progressed, brotherhood has grown, but they've been locking down, making the adjustments on defense. And again, that defensive line, putting on pressure and having fresh bodies in there has also helped out a lot.
It has, and we talk about A&M having leading the nation in sacks with 33. Ole Miss is number 4 in the nation in sacks with 30. So they're averaging 3.75 a game. So that's no slouch, and I can't remember the last time that was the case. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see what how our defensive line performs. And theirs, we know they have one of the, as Lane Kiffin said earlier this week, they have one of the greatest collections of, players. And their defensive line, last year, my son graduated from A&M, and all throughout recruiting the last couple of years, he'd call me and say, Mom, A&M got another 5-star defensive lineman. That defensive line, they are everywhere, led by Edgerrin Cooper. And it's just, they're definitely something to watch. I saw a statistic earlier today that no team has gotten over 100 yards running and passing on them all season. And they're, interestingly, Kiffin talked about this week how the average distance for the opposing offenses on third down against that defense has been 3rd and 9. Or 9.5. That is an average. Can you imagine that?
No. DJ Durkin's got his boys playing much better this year. Yeah. Especially late in the season. That DJ Durkin's putting. By the way, yes, DJ Durkin, former Ole Miss defensive coordinator, currently the A&M defensive coordinator. He's got that unit you talk about. Only third down is 9 yards on average. Number 1 team in the nation against sacks. How comfortable you are about Lane Kiffin going head to head against DJ Durkin now that the run game has been back, and the other little kind of caveat is you bring in DJ Durkin's got to be thinking to himself, you can't just pin your ears and come back and try to sack Jackson Dart because he'll take off up the middle on you because he's turned into an elite runner.
Absolutely, and I think as many problems as potentially their defense can bring, I think our offense, boy, so you've got rushing, you've got Quinshawn almost at 700 yards and Bentley at almost 400, and then there's Jackson Dart at around 330. So you've got that kind of a three-headed monster there. So you're right. Dart has, put it this way, Quinshawn has 9 rushing TDs on the season. Jackson Dart has 7. So, definitely got to keep an eye on him. And Ole Miss is, I think, still the only Power 5 school in the country to have 3 wide receivers with over 500 yards receiving on one team. So with Watkins, Harris, and Wade, all have over 500 yards. And now A&M, I will tell you, they've got Aniyah Smith with 569 and Evan Stewart with 506. Those are going to be really key players to watch for them. But I think we're going to present a lot of issues for Durkin. And, it's funny. Kiffin said he thinks we're going to have to think outside the box for this game. And I tell you what, if you got to think outside the box against somebody, I don't think I'd want anybody more doing that than Lane Kiffin.
Man, that makes a lot of sense. And again, Lane did, heap high praise. What did he say? They're the most talented 5-3 team ever. Something to that effect.
Ever.
Yeah, ever.
And he's talked about, he even said Monday, because again, there's no love lost there back when last season before the season when Jimbo criticized Nick Saban and, Lane got involved and then Jimbo called Saban and Kiffin clowns and, it just kind of went down from there. But, Kiffin said Monday, this could be one of the greatest collections of athletes. And then he said, the people who put that together, the collective, the whatever, I kind of think was a subtle jab because Jimbo had made the comment that people didn't come there because of the money. It wasn't the NIL. It wasn't a $30 million roster. They just came because they love it there. And that may well be. But I think Kiffin's point was right. They have a lot of money. They've invested a lot of money, and they have a lot of talented players, which he says is a lot like an NFL roster.
By the way, you talked about those wide receivers, and A.J. Brown, look what he's doing in the NFL. A lot of talent basically comes through Oxford for the wide receiver. But this is a very talented group. You talked about how 4 of them have over 500 yards. But they've all been kind of in and out. There's been some issues with health, even from the tight end. Is this the healthiest the tight end and wide receiver room have been basically since the beginning of the season?
Yes, that's a good point. I was going to mention that. To me, I feel like this is the perfect time to play A&M. We've got Judkins is healthy now. Bentley is healthy now. And then you mentioned the receivers. And, Jordan Watkins, how about Jordan Watkins going out there and playing with basically, a contraption on his hand?
That's why I said one hand he's playing wide receiver.
Yes. And so I think he's, getting better and better. And it was my understanding, he got 2 plates put in his hand. How crazy is that? And it was funny. He told a funny story this week about how before he played against Auburn that he told Coach Kiffin, I can play. And Kiffin said, yeah, no, I'm going to have to have proof of that. And so apparently he had a grad assistant or somebody just throwing in the ball, and Kiffin said, that's not going to cut it. So they went and pulled Jackson Dart out of whatever meeting they were in before the game.
Class.
And I think they were at Auburn, and so they were in the hotel, and they said he had him in a ballroom zipping him passes because, there's no zip on a pass like a quarterback. So wasn't quite the same as the grad assistant. And when he was able to catch it, it's like, okay, you passed the test. So he let him play. So that was kind of a funny story. But, yeah, and then how about Dayton Wade's acrobatic catch against Vandy? I don't know if you saw that one, but my goodness,
I remember the first half. So if it was in the second half, I remember parts of it. Homecoming was we celebrated a little hard, you could say.
Oh, good for you. good for you. Yeah, it was a phenomenal catch. It was similar. He had one, I think, against Tulane that way. And, he told some funny stories about that catch earlier this week and how he knew when he was going to hit the ground, he knew he was hitting head first. And he just said, oh, no, and he actually ended up, I think, breaking the face mask on his helmet when he landed, if you can imagine. But he held on to that ball. So go Dayton, go.
All right, man. I could talk football with you all day, but then I'd be Ole Miss fans might get a little upset with me. I do have to bring up basketball right around the corner. What's going on with Chris Beard's bunch?
Well, they had an exhibition game earlier against Tusculum, so Tennessee folks might know who that is. And to be honest, I think really, they won 85-44. They had 4 guys in double figures.
So it was a really, really close game.
Yeah, really, really close game. I think a lot of, obviously a lot of players got to get in. Now, I will tell you, Murray and Cisse did not get to play because they're still waiting on hearing about their waivers, and NCAA rules are such that you cannot play while, until you've heard about your waiver.
Yeah.
So there is that. But they, again, I think it's just exciting to see Ole Miss basketball, fans there excited. I think we may see a little more Rashad Marshall maybe than we thought. I think he and Alan Flanagan and TJ Caldwell are kind of X factors. They look good. So I think going into the first real game coming up Monday, I think, we're going to see kind of what the depth is like, what will the usage be, what's going to be different from
They
years
get
past.
Alabama State first game of the year, right?
Yes. And so, I think it's going to be fun to watch. And I don't know if you saw there was a video of Chris Beard going on the Tusculum bus after the game and talking to the team. You beat a team 85-44. You would think that might be
No, I didn't see
tough.
that.
Yeah, he did. It was really cool. He went on their bus. Somebody actually filmed it, and he just told them what a good team they are and that they're going to beat a lot of teams. They're going to beat a lot of teams in their league. He talked about just his experience in coaching a team, a Division II team to a national title game, and just, compared them. And it was just really, I think it meant a lot to them. And just, he told them, you exposed some things on our team that we're going to get, we're going to have to get to work on. And he said, I hope, we did the same for y'all and that it's going to be beneficial. But it was really cool. I really like Chris Beard.
Man, that is, it's wild. When you from afar where he was, especially down in Texas, and, now that he's a Rebel and you get to know and you've heard the stories and everything, it feels like he's really settled in down in Oxford. And I think it's going to be a pretty good season. Now, baseball, believe it or not, is kind of getting a little bit of gear, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So we just finished up the last exhibition of the season, scrimmage. They had a scrimmage against Memphis this past weekend, and now it is Pizza Bowl week, and so that's going to be just the kind of the fall season comes to an end. Pizza Bowl inter-squad this Friday at 6:00, and I tell you, I'm excited about this baseball team. Now, we did hear, unfortunately, I don't know if you've talked about this week, but Hunter Elliott does not look like he's going to be able to be back this season unless it would be like literally June, playoff, time. So that is a bummer. Bianco said that after the scrimmage. So, but I tell you, Riley Maddox is back.
So the lefty, American freshman is like, dang, man, that's a big blow.
That is a blow. That is a blow. And I think though that, they probably were anticipating that could happen. So they've got Xavier Rivas and Grayson Saunier, and JT Quinn is looking really good. He and Saunier are returning sophomores this year. Rivas is a transfer who came in last year. Riley Maddox is looking good. We've seen him. He actually was out with Tommy John surgery too, and so he's back and looking really good. Had a really good fall, and some of those new players. Andrew Fisher, the Duke transfer. A lot of them are looking really good, and we're excited. Sorry, the fall season's kind of coming to an end, but before you know it, it'll be February, and it'll be time to get started and open the season in Hawaii. How about that?
Ooh, nice. And how's Coach Yo and everything going over there?
Oh, Coach Yo is, she's just blowing and going. I mean, I tell you, I saw a really cute picture she posted. She and her family really get into Halloween. Like the McEwen household, they're set up. I tell you what, it was something else. If folks haven't seen that, they ought to go to Coach Yo's Twitter. But she had a picture of herself and Coach Beard after Halloween. She said, here was the last trick-or-treater that came by. We had one piece of candy left or something. And anyway, it was him. But, yeah, they played Rust College in their exhibition this past Sunday. And, Johnny, they're going to be good.
Man,
Ole Miss is going to be good.
I think I'm excited. I will say, though, I was watching, I think it was ESPN the other night, and they did a little thing on Dawn Staley in South Carolina.
Oh.
And that is, after watching that was intimidating.
I know. I tell you what. And so Ole Miss, the women start out Monday also. They got an 11 a.m. game Monday. They play Queens, so that's going to be interesting. But the real one is going to be Thursday. They play Oklahoma in Oxford. So that's going to be a real fun game to watch. But you're right. I mean, I think Dawn Staley, and she's such a mentor, has been such a mentor to Coach Yo, and been help with her throughout her career thus far. And I know Coach Yo has such respect for her. And like you say, you watch anything on South Carolina and you're like, well, yeah, that's why.
I mean, when you see all the banners of the first round picks to the WNBA that she has around her practice facility, you're like, geez, no wonder they're so good.
Yes, it's amazing. And so I know Coach Yo, really is striving for the day she can beat her mentor. And I tell you what, that day may be coming. I mean, this team
might be this year.
That's right. They're special. I think those transfers she brought in, they're going to be special.
Evie, thank you so much for your time as always. Follow Evie at Ole Miss Evie, and make sure you go follow on Twitter at The Rebel Walk. And when you think Ole Miss sports, always think TheRebelWalk.com. Check them out. Evie, be blessed, hotty toddy, and let's go beat Texas A&M this weekend.
Hotty toddy. Have a great weekend.
That is Evie Van Pelt. Now, I also got to tell you something that's very, very, very important. I kind of did this a little bit earlier, and I was mentioning that when you go down to the Grove, the most important thing you can bring is Tito's. Because that just kicks the party off, right? It's the best vodka in the world. 3-time Vodka Tonic winner of the year. It goes great with Bloody Marys. It goes great with anything. Why? Because it's a little different, man. It's 6 times distilled and then distilled in classic copper pots, which give it a very unique flavor, slightly sweet with that black pepper note balancing everything out. Doesn't matter if you're crafting a cocktail or drinking it neat. Get your Tito's on today. We got Hardwood on the other side. Are Paige Spreenax, are her boobs real? Inquiring minds want to know. She addressed the topic yesterday. We also got the greatest nickname for an athlete. If you call him an athlete, he's a dart player, professional dart player. But his nickname is hilarious. We got so much more. Don't touch the dial. Sports 56 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Memphis football is home Saturday, November 4th at 2 o'clock for a homecoming against South Florida. Enjoy the pregame concert, mechanical bull riding, and Tiger tailgate on Tiger Lane before the game. Tickets start at just $20 as Memphis football continues to work toward a berth in the American Championship game. Be at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium Saturday, November 4th at 2. Purchase your tickets today at GoTigersGoTix.com.
Wow, I feel good. Shopping at DriveMax. 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 You get value.
Need a car that screams I feel good? DriveMax has it all. From cars to SUVs, find a tightly inspected used car that'll have you dancing all the way home. Call 901-664-2424 or visit DriveMaxApproval.com.
DriveMax. I got approved.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Memphis's oldest restaurant, Coletti's, was established in 1923 to give Memphians the best Italian food possible. And I'd say they got it right. They are the creators of the barbecue pizza. It was Elvis's favorite, and I know for a fact that a large will feed one person all weekend. If you need to feed several, though, Coletti's caters any event. Choose from homemade lasagna, ravioli, Alfredo, primavera, and so many other delicious items you can't help but enjoy. Impress employees or clients and treat them to Coletti's for lunch or dinner. Plan ahead and get your holiday party booked at Coletti's. Elvis's favorite place to go eat with his buddies at the South Parkway location, and Coletti's even has an Elvis room dedicated to him. Call Coletti's on South Parkway at 948-7652 or Appling Road at 383-1122. Coletti's. It was Elvis's favorite, and it should be yours too.
How long has it been since you heard the term being overstocked? Well, it's happened at Family Leisure. Yep. That means you get the savings, like select patio sets that are up to 50% off. If you need a play gym, you're in luck because they're also overstocked and start at under $2,000. Pool tables and game room items up to $700 off of in-stock items. Saunas, massage chairs, arcades, even theater seating. Special financing is available with free delivery. Family Leisure is extending sale pricing on all in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. And if you need supplies to close up your pool for the winter, Family Leisure has them up to 30% off. It's been a while since you've heard of an overstock sale, but Family Leisure is right in the middle of one. Huge deals and a huge overstocked inventory. That means great savings for you. It's happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawald Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawald is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I got Brian Dacus, Johnny Hill. Big thanks to Evie Van Pelt from the Rebel Walk. Always love talking Ole Miss. Also Isaac Simpson. We talk Tigers, Grizzlies, and Bears. Oh my, or actually Cowboys, but just kind of goes better with the whole Wizard of Oz thing. But anyway, we're about to do Hardwood, where it feels so good. I got some crazy stories. I got every inquiring minds do want to know, are Paige Spring's boobs real or fake? I'm going to give you the answer in a little bit. She addressed it the other day. This was a very hot topic around the internet. Plus, I've got just some good stories, like good old feel-good stories. I also got the best nickname in the history of the world. I cannot wait. This athlete, like, think about some of the, what's 901-360-8255, best nickname for an athlete. Send it on in. You know, hit me up. I think this one beats it. We're going to discuss that and so much more. But if you're a little bit hungry right now, did you know that Neil's Bar and Grill, where the Fat Man rocks at 5727 Quince Road, where they have the music room, where they got bands galore, where they got the best bar and the best bartenders, they also have one of the best lunches. They do lunch plates Monday through Friday. It's Thursday. I went over there yesterday and I got the fried chicken, the chicken fried steak, some barbecue, some white beans, not barbecue beans, black-eyed peas, and mashed potatoes. Today you can get grilled salmon, mama's meatloaf, fried chicken, roasted pork loin. They got mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, corn, fried okra, English peas, country squash, and some butter beans. I'm telling you, Neil's Bar and Grill with the Fat Man rocks. Plus, they always have their house favorites, their barbecue pizza. They got great pizzas. They also have a sandwich over there, which is out of control. I've had a couple of them. I love the Philly cheesesteak. But the Neil's Fat Club sandwich is straight up ridiculous. Check that bad boy out. Neil's Bar and Grill, where the Fat Man rocks, 5727 Quince. Now, let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Man, Johnny Hill paying attention over there.
Oh, I'm locked in, John. I'm ready for it.
You're locked in.
I'm ready for it.
You've been thinking about Paige Spreenak all day. I know it. I've been thinking about her my whole life. Every golf pick I've ever made came straight from Paige Spreenak. I learned how to swing a golf club because of Paige Spreenak.
She's legendary, man.
She's a legend. She's a legend. She really is. She's one of the greatest things since sliced bread. Well, everybody's been wondering, are they real or fake? She gets asked it all the time, and she's never addressed it. Well, finally yesterday, she came out and said there is an extraordinarily, like there's extra. I mean, she puts her boobs out on, like, Broadway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Broadway.
Like, yeah, what's up? What's up? That's why she's, like, the #1 golf influencer, because she's a beautiful young lady with a great, great gift. God blessed her.
God have.
And she's blessing back. But guess what? He really did bless her, because, no, her boobs are real. And people were like, no, they have to be fake, because all of a sudden they got even bigger than they were before. And she came out, and it was kind of sad. She said, guys, I put on like 5 pounds. It went all to the right spot.
John, ain't no way they're real.
Man, they are real, bro. I knew you weren't going to get it right. That girl, I'm telling you, some people are blessed more than others. She's got gifts.
God bless Paige.
God bless Paige Spreenak. And if you love golf, you'll love Paige. She's always out there doing things about golf. Now, I got to tell you about the greatest nickname, I think, in sports history. Now, this man's name is Owen Bates.
Okay.
Very bland name, right? Owen Bates. Well, this dude he's extremely talented. In fact, he's going to basically, like, the World Series of dartboard playing, okay? He's going to be in this, it's called the Alley Pally or something. I don't know, it's a big dart one. It's so big that they have, like, you know how boxers have, like, the ring announcers?
Yeah.
Like, they got ring announcers. So when they come out, they all come out, like, the challenger comes out, and they're like, throwing darts out of this corner, Bobby J, you know?
Yeah.
Well, this dude, I cannot wait, because they come out there and they do the first name, then they do his nickname, and then they do the last name.
Yeah.
And again, my man's name is Owen Bates.
Owen Bates.
Can you figure out why I think his nickname is so awesome?
I think I have an idea.
Are you ready? Coming out to throw darts, Owen the Master Bates.
Hey, man, Brian called it, man.
Is that not amazing?
That boy Brian called it, bro.
I can't wait. I'm going to watch a dart show just so I can hear the ring announcer come out there and going, Owen the Master Bates.
Yo, that's wild.
That's straight
That's
up
wild.
awesome. And then I can't believe I'm going to do this story on the radio.
Go ahead, John. Might as well.
Well, I mean, I'm a little upset about this story. I don't know if it's 100% true. This doctor could be a quack.
Okay.
But Dr. Dara Sedvatskia. So she's definitely, I don't know, it sounds Eastern European.
It sounds it.
But she claims this, and this is crazy. She says that fellatio, cunnilingus, these types of acts are more dangerous for one specific type of cancer, throat cancer, than smoking cigarettes. I'm calling BS on this one. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, what am I going to have to now? Like, you know, when you go to buy a pack of cigarettes, you got that big old sign up there that says, like, how bad cigarettes? Or am I going to have to start wearing around, like, this could cause throat cancer?
Yeah, I guess so, John. I guess so, according to her.
Can we have to say this doctor's a quack, right?
Yeah, it sounds like she's a quack.
I will say one thing, or she could have just made this up because she wants her husband to be the most miserable husband in the world.
Yo, could be.
Sorry, babe, I'm not getting throat cancer. Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy.
Poor guy. And by the way, man, I wish I was this rich.
Go ahead,
John.
John.
Could you turn down $5 million for one performance? Do you know who Burna Boy is?
I think I have heard of him.
Burna Boy. Obviously, Burna Boy's nickname is legit with him because he was going to play one concert in Dubai, $5 million cash.
Really?
And he turned it down because he found out that smoking is illegal in Dubai. Like, you can't.
No, you can't do none of
cigarettes.
that. You can't do none of that.
You can't do nothing like that. So he's like, nah, man, if I can't smoke, I can't play. Turn down $5 million. I think I could, man.
Man, I would have put it down, John. I ain't gonna lie.
This guy who's been married to Dr. Dara, like, I mean, she ain't been smoking in 20 years and they're still married. This dude couldn't smoke for 1 minute an actual cigarette.
Man.
I think that's just terrible.
That's terrible. Completely terrible.
And I don't know what's wrong with this world, but I know a lot of it has to do with what you're reading.
That is correct.
Because I just found this out. Do you know this year, the number one in first week of sales in the United States, the number one book that was read this year? Do you have any clue what it was?
Don't tell me it's that Jada Smith book.
Nah, I didn't even know she had a book. Jada Smith.
That's Will Smith. Hey, man, that's a long story, John. You don't want to read the book, bro.
She's the one who likes to sleep with other men.
Yeah. Will Smith's wife.
Man, I don't know who has it worse, Will Smith or Joe Smith.
Oh, at this point, it might be. Nah, I still take Will Smith.
Yeah, man, but remember
Joe's wife do it.
Joe Smith's wife be on
OnlyFans. Oh, she's an OnlyFans model, man.
Yeah. Oh, but I'm sorry, the winner, by the way. You got me off. I was thinking about Jada Pinkett. I'm like, listen, you wonder why Will Smith is slapping dudes. Like his wife is out sleeping with other dudes and letting everybody in public know.
Hey, he's slapping them left and right.
Man, she's slapping them left and right, both hands and everything. Like, Lord have mercy. But man, listen, the number one selling book in the United States this year, first week, it sold 1.6 million copies. It was that stupid book by Prince Henry called Spare.
Really?
Yeah, like, who cares in the United States? Why do we care about the royals? They're not even real royals. They're just rich people that were royals, and now they ain't got, like, real jobs and stuff. They just stand there and, like, wave and look stupid. Royals, man. Who gives a damn? And now number two, the number two book sold, and it just happened, is Britney Spears' book, The Woman in Me. It sold 1.1 million copies. Why is anybody reading a book about a deranged lunatic?
Hey, man, Brian called it again, man. Brian called it again.
That's just nuts to me, man.
Yeah, it's a little insane.
That's pretty insane. Have you ever brought to the table, do you have any wonderful Hardwood stories for the world?
Me personally?
Yeah.
John, I gotta think about that, man. I don't think I have any hardwood stories yet, man.
Man, well, I got one for you.
Go ahead. I'm here for it.
One more. So, do you know, God, what's his name? Matthew Perry. You know Matthew Perry?
I know Matthew Perry.
All right, so you know he was the dude in Friends, Chandler Bing.
Yeah.
He passed away.
He did.
But he was out there helping people with sobriety.
He was?
Yeah, like for real. Like he was putting in that work. So I think, he had something from health problems. Like they found no fentanyl in him, no stuff like that. I don't think he relapsed or anything. It's just a sad, tragic death, I believe. But a lot of people are coming out and saying how Matthew Perry helped them get sober. And
really?
One of them that I thought was interesting is, you remember Ryan Leaf at all?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The quarterback?
Yeah.
All right. Well, he was taken right after, of course, Peyton Manning. Ryan went crazy, became an alcoholic, got arrested, loved drugs.
Yeah.
Tragic story. Well, now he's approaching 12 years of sobriety after battling drugs and alcohol. And he says one of the things is he said Perry was one of the dudes who actually helped him stay sober when he started fighting those demons, because it's a constant battle. And he said, yeah, man, like big thumbs up. He said he doesn't know if he'd be here if he wasn't able to run into Matthew Perry, and then also do things for others. So
shout out to Matthew Perry.
So do things for others and help keep people on that straight and narrow. All right, that was one other thing I forgot. Okay. Do you know what the Kim Kardashian show is?
I know.
It called?
Living with the Kardashians.
Living with the Kardashians. Okay. So on an episode of Living with the Kardashians, this is terrible. There was a small little thing where, like, North is one of their children with Kanye. And in the episode, North starts crying and telling her mom that she wants her mother to have an apartment like Daddy. Like he doesn't have a chef, he doesn't have a security guard, he doesn't have a nanny. When I go to his apartment, it's just me and Dad, and he doesn't have to have all kinds of things. Mom, why don't we have an apartment? So I'm like, damn, Kanye's living like a nomad, you know what I'm saying?
He is.
And then I looked up his apartment. It's $20,000 a month apartment in West Hollywood.
Come on.
Like,
now.
damn, what kind of, like, North don't know what she's calling that slumming it.
Hey, she don't know what slumming it is.
My goodness. Like, man, yeah, but that's true, dude. Like, Kim K be living that life of luxury.
Come on now, come on. She got every assistant.
Man, and now she's got undies on all the NBA players.
What? I know you seen that too, John. She signed a deal with it.
Most times she's with an NBA player, the undies are coming off. Now she's putting them on.
Hey, that's crazy how life works, John.
Man, it's like full circle. Full circle.
You know that boy J. Cole said everything comes around full circle.
It does. I like that. By the way, on the other side, I'm going to give you a little betting information. Very, very important betting information. But first, I got to tell you about Bob Simpson, my buddy over at State Farm. Everybody needs protection. It doesn't matter if you're on the field or on the road. And you need the best, and the best is Bob Simpson at State Farm. He can buckle you up with auto insurance, back your life up with health insurance, cover your business, whether it's starting, growing, or maturing. And don't forget to insure your home, no matter if you're an owner or a renter. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Bob Simpson today, 901-381-1233. Or go online and get a free quote at bobsimpson.org. Stay protected with your good neighbor, Bob Simpson. We got Thursday night football. Titans and Steelers. Will Levis, my man who drinks his coffee with mayonnaise in it. Disgusting. Like, I don't like mayonnaise.
Me either, man.
But it's so weird. I do love a good chicken salad, and I know mayonnaise is in it. But if it's already made, I can eat it. But, like, if I see somebody squirt the mayonnaise out, it's something, like, what's weird about me. I'm like, oh, hell no. Don't be putting that on. No, I ain't eating that. But if it's in a good chicken salad, I'll eat that. I'm like, I didn't have to see it be made. And it's good. But, man, Will Levis loves mayonnaise. He also threw 4 touchdown passes last week. We're going to talk Titans and Steelers next. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Sissy's Log Cabin, you'll find only spectacular natural diamonds that will remain treasured for generations. That promise is now symbolized by the engraved Sissy signature and sapphire, representing our guarantee of extraordinary service, selection, experience, and quality. Stop by any of our stores or visit sissyslogcabin.com and experience the Sissy's promise for yourself. Find a jeweler for a lifetime, only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
We all appreciate luxury. We love the newest technology. We want something that sparkles and looks great. Well, I've got it all in one place. It's called Genesis of Olive Branch, right at the corner of Highway 78. That's Lamar. And the first exit in Mississippi, that's Craft Road. Turn left and you will see Genesis of Olive Branch. And right now, you can get the 2024 Genesis GV70 starting at $49,480 with special financing as low as 3.49% on select models. How about the 2024 Genesis GV80? A little bit bigger, starting at $55,995, financing as low as 5.49% with a $2,000 rebate when trading a luxury brand. Call them. They'll even bring you a Genesis at your work or your home for a test drive. They're convinced that when you drive a Genesis, you're going to want one. Call 662-890-6684. Ask for Vinny. Genesis of Olive Branch.
Now, this is the weather Sunrise was made for. You can enjoy sunrise downtown on Jefferson or sunrise east on Poplar all year long. But there's something special about tucking into a hot, fresh, delicious breakfast when there's just a bit of cool in the air. It's true for lunch, too. There's nothing like a perfect burger when you've got your coat hanging on the back of your chair. You know the food at both Sunrise locations is made just for you when you order it. And now you can enjoy it while you're not being outside in the cold. Warm up with some Sunrise.
The utterly inspired all-electric EQE sedan from Mercedes-Benz, an adventure for all the senses. Available energizing comfort technology links together a multitude of comfort settings to precisely suit your mood. You can set massage functions, cabin climate, ambient lighting color, access specially curated mood playlists, and even select the fragrance inside the cabin. Getting in's the easy part. Once inside the beautifully designed cabin of the all-electric EQE, you'll never want to get out. Vehicle so smart, it can also adapt to your preferences over time, learning your habits and making helpful suggestions. It can even recognize you from your fingerprints through biometric ID, automatically setting everything exactly to your liking as soon as you get inside. The Mercedes-Benz EQE, an electric sedan you can truly make your own. The vehicle's all electric, the feeling all Mercedes. Test drive the EQE today at your local dealer or learn more at mbusa.com/EQ.
Cooling or heating system on the fritz? Dripping faucet? Call the pros at Conway Services today and we'll waive the service call fee with any HVAC or plumbing repair. Expert technicians available 7 days a week. Call 384-3511 to schedule your appointment. Visit conwayservices.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 64210, 64365 EAS, MS 19668.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Looking for your next car? Give Car Corner a try. Car Corner, located at 2653 Mount Moriah. They specialize in cars under $15,000. Bad credit? No problem at Car Corner. CarCornerMemphis.com. That's CarCornerMemphis.com. They even have cash cars under $7,000. That's Car Corner at 2653 Mount Moriah. CarCornerMemphis.com. Look for the building with the teal green roof.
But you got to be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Johnny Hill, Brian Dacus. Again, big thanks to Evie Van Pelt. We talked everything Rebels at 12 o'clock with Evie from the Rebel Walk. Also, Isaac Simpson from Ethos Grizzlies. We talked Tigers, Grizzlies, Cowboys, oh my, all kinds of fun stuff we jumped in and talked about today. But now it's time to make some money, and making that money is really, really important. And after I make you a little bit of more money, I hope that you head on over to my friends over at Scooters Plus at 3425 Summer Avenue. If you love hunting, if you love the outdoors, if you like boating, if you like your kids to be excited and get out of the house, they have everything. I mean, they have street bikes, they have dirt bikes, they have four-wheelers, they have side-by-sides, they have UTVs, ATVs, golf carts, you name it, they have it. They have e-bikes, trikes. They got all the stuff at Scooters Plus, and the price is always right at Scooters Plus. It's the largest showroom around. In fact, my friend, my family, my girlfriend's cousin, his name's Bug. He lives over in Searcy, Arkansas, man. And he needed a new side-by-side. Looked all around. He came all the way to Memphis to get his side-by-side because, again, the best prices around are at Scooters Plus. Best warranty, best everything. 3425 Summer Avenue. Parts, repairs, sales, and service. Always at Scooters Plus. Showroom hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, we got to make some money. Titans play the Steelers tonight. If you look at that total, it is low. Get low, get low. I couldn't believe it was this low. Did you know it's 36.5? But this game does have basically that 15, 14 type like feel to it. One team with 5 field goals, 2 teams with 2 touchdowns. I don't know. This thing is going to be wild because, the Tennessee Titans have played a couple games without scoring touchdowns. They gave 5 field goals against the Saints. I don't think it was the Browns they didn't score against or somebody. I can't remember. They've been terrible offensively. They went off last week. Will Levis threw 4 touchdown passes against the Falcons. I'm sorry, I see some regression against this Steelers team. It's Will Levis's first start on the road. The terrible towels are going to be out. Also, you have uncertainty with the Steelers. Yeah, they got Deontay Johnson back last week and Kenny Pickett. Pickens, George Pickens, and Deontay Johnson on the outside. Disgusting. They're great. But, man, right now, you know who's a little banged up? Kenny Pickett.
Talk about it, John.
And what if Mitch Trubisky has to play? That would make me extremely nervous. I think both defenses are extremely solid. I think both teams and both coaches, Mike Vrabel and Mike Tomlin, are to keep this joker close to the vest. I know the total is low. I'm taking the under in this bad boy. When they set it that low, they trying to make you do something, aren't they? And I think definitely a Tennessee Titans team is not nearly going to be as good. And plus, you also DeAndre Hopkins, who went completely off with Will Levis.
He did.
He's banged up. He's questionable. I think he's going to go, but still, he's not 100%. Mika Fitzpatrick for the Steelers, he's out on defense. It's going to be interesting to watch this game.
That's a big loss right there, having Mika
As much
out.
as I want the defense, I still, this thing's going under. Now, the side to take, the Steelers or the Titans, I have no idea. I would have to lean towards the home team, and also just because I'm just not a big believer in the Tennessee Titans. And by the way, that total is so low in the National Football League. It's at 36.5 currently. But there were 2 totals this week that I looked at and I saw and I thought were absolutely crazy. Check this out. Do you know that there are 2 games this week where the total is 31.5?
Wow.
31.5. Where did it go? It was like Army and Air Force. It were the craziest looking games that I've ever seen. Here it is. Low total. Man, sometimes I lose my notes or remember where I put something.
Iowa and Northwestern.
I got it. It's Iowa Northwestern. Total is 31.5, and it's Army and Air Force, 31.5. 2 lowest totals on the board this week. That says, man, they ain't scoring jack. Those are 2 other games I might just take because it was set so low that I would go under. Well, that is my time. For Johnny Hill, Bryant Dacus, I'm John Harden. Get out there. Make this world a better place. We're going to see you on the flip side. Peace.
For over 8 decades, America's farmers have counted on the Little Red Tractor from Case IH, the Farmall, to help them make short work of their demanding chores. Well, Mid-South Ag can show you they aren't just for farms anymore. With horsepower ranging from 30 to 105, plus an army of attachments, they can tackle every chore on your to-do list, from hauling and mowing to loading and towing and then some. Stop by Mid-South Ag Equipment or call 662-890-3141 to